With a button component created, let's take a look at how to work with it. So in the Assets panel, you can see the Components category, and you can see any components that are saved. In the previous video, you created a button component, and you actually dragged it out to create a copy called an instance. Now with components, you can edit the master, and the changes will propagate to all the instances where that property hasn't been customized in the instance, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, a design system is only as usable as the degree of flexibility it provides. You can start with the same original element, like this button, but you have to customize it depending on the context where it's used. That's where instances come in. When you edit any instance of a component, it doesn't affect the master. Every property you change on that instance is considered an override. Now, to edit the master of this button, right-click and choose Edit Master Component. Now you should see that it selected the master up above. If the master component isn't in the document, a new master component is added on the canvas somewhere so you can edit it. Double-click the master component to edit it. Make a change or two. I'm going to remove the border and maybe round the corners a little bit by dragging one of these corner widgets. You can see that any updates you make are reflected in the instance. Now if you come back to the instance, suppose the text needs to be different from this button. So press the letter T to select the text tool. Double-click to select the instance text and change it. If you need, you can select the Select tool and drag it into position. A lot of times with button text, we'll try to center align the text. When you make an edit to an instance, XD marks that property, or in this case, the text, as an override. Overrides are unique changes that apply only to that instance and not the master component. Press the Escape key to select the instance again. You can tell an instance has an override because of the green dot in the hollow diamond right here. To edit the instance button body, double-click on it, and maybe change the color. If you come back to the master and double-click on it, try adjusting the corner radius now. You're going to see that it's going to affect the instance, but if you change anything else like the fill color or the text, it will not affect the instance. Now, if you're not happy with the results of your instance overrides, you can always reset an instance back to the original master component appearance by right-clicking the instance and selecting Reset to Master State. Changing your original elements depending on context is extremely important when creating reusable elements. As a result, you can override every style and appearance property of an instance. The overrides allow for a range of variations while still keeping their ties to the foundational element. Why don't you try experimenting a little, maybe making another instance or even another component in instance?